The last bloody day of this. That was a weird voice. This is the last day of 2021. Thank goodness. Enough of it. Enough's enough. So I'm going to be opening a piece of mail from my friend Adam. And I know what this is. It's 2 new crystals. And then as soon as I'm done opening this up, we're then going to kind of like having the open discussion about hello Kayla on really what should be prioritized for the next year. This can be like open discussion and everybody can say what they want to focus on and whatnot. Motivate each other, you get the idea. And from there we'll have open Q&A and then do our card stock. So without further ado, this thing, if you're wondering why I'm holding it so oddly, is because from all the way from right to like here down, it's covered in like sticky honey, and I can't figure it out. Nope, but either way, at least it's sweet though. Let me just open this thing up. So the year 2022, the year of too many twos. Is that anything else in there? I mean, a few times there have been times where Adam has snuck in something. Nope. Just these two. Okay, here we go. I already feel stoned through this. So here we go. It's like a wrapping and within a wrapping within a wrapping. Where's the tape that's on this thing? Okay, here we go. I got two new stones. The first one, hello, that's potent. Like, first one. Oh boy, this. Oh, good Lord, Land, everything is strong. First one, Black Moonstone. The Black Moonstone. Oh my Lord, Lander, this thing is powerful. Yes, I know, I got it for you, lovely. Here. And then the other one is called Station. I'm going to try to pronounce it again. Stick and Shite or whatever. And this is what it looks like. Let's see here. It's like a soothing, supportive, guiding figure. Like an energetic presence is behind me, pointing in a certain direction, and kind of giving me strategic ideas when I'm holding this Station Shite. I can't pronounce it right. After the Black Moonstone, well, Black Moonstone. Well, I mean, the first thing I think is like, wow, this is dark. Very mother-like. And very empowering. Oh. Here's a better look at the Black Moon Stone. What did I say? I hate it when people can't follow her. I really hate him. You know what really grinds my gears? When you tell somebody, or you know when they say, well, just tell us or do something and whatnot, and all of a sudden it's just like, well, that didn't connect well. I just lost my train of thought, but I'll come back. So anyway, Black Moonstone and Stissenscheid. I can't pronounce it right. I know I have my crystal book somewhere if I can find it. But wow, I was scouting for a book that talks about crystals. So what are the New Year's, resolutions, focus points, or you know what I mean? What are you trying to go for, Kayla? What's on your to-do list for the year of the too many twos? Twinkle twos. I'm not gonna write that up. My cake was so hot. Meanwhile, here's how this thing's grown. It's making quite an L shape for some reason, but we're going with it. Oh. Just poke myself in the head with this thing. What are your New Year's resolutions, or what is going to be your focus for the year of way, way too many twos? Like 20, double, 2. That one, and then here's these, which, I mean, I got nothing. I literally have no idea how these things are still vibrant and potent. Like, none of the roses have withered. These things are getting bigger by the day, and they won't stop growing. It's like, okay, if you keep opening up at this rate, you're probably gonna be like flat. I don't know what that is. Where in the bloody heck did that thing go? Oh, no, really. Like always, right in front of my face. So, okay, there. Let's see, Black Moonstone. Is it in this book? Probably not. Nope. How do I go over to M? Oh, it has the regular moonstone, but not the black one. Okay, rude. Then Stissenscheid. S-T... Nope. Close, but not quite. Nope. Nope. Aha! Look what I found. Get the straps. Okay. It says... for this little one. Keywords. Kundalini activation. Oh boy, what did I get myself into? Love and forgiveness, compassion, spiritual protection, emotional and physical resilience. Well, I wouldn't. Well, for. I mean, worst comes to worst. I mean, if a dimwit makes you table flip on them, well, hey, they're the one who pushed it. Chakras for this thing. The fourth, seventh, and then the first. So it's like up, down. Okay. Windstone supports neurological health, regeneration of neutral pathways, inspires love and compassion, and helps one overcome timidity. That's a weird word for emotional. Spiritual, encourage spiritual service, appreciation of the joy of life. Stissenshite is a hydrated magnesium corium carbonate mineral with a trigonal crystal hardness of 1.5 to 2. That is like, oh, like, you gotta, like, this little thing, you gotta be like really gentle with it, because if you just simply mistouch, it's like, oh, you just shattered me, you poked me wrong. It's found in Tasmania, Australia. So technically, I could technically say like, oh look, I have the stone from, the Tasmanian devil. It blends the vibrations of love, forgiveness, and spiritual illumination, linking the heart and the crown. It emanates energies that protect you from negativity, putting the wearers inside an egg of light. Okay? Which heals the emotional body. It is a stone of forgiveness, and it can soften hardened attitudes, allowing one to release unreasonable stubbornness and see things from another point of view. It encourages the spontaneous display of affection. Okay. There we go. Dispelling shyness or hesitation. It helps clear one's karma and instills commitment to a life of spiritual service. Wow. I'm not going to look over now. It stimulates the Kundalini, the energy of enlightenment and evolution. Oh boy. It is a stone of emotional and physical resilience, allowing one to recover quickly from illness, trauma, disappointment, anger, and depression. Rekindles the joy of life for its own sake. It helps one remember to see with the eyes of a child, joyful and free from expectation. It supports the regeneration of natural pathways, aiding from recovery from spiritual injury, dementia, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. This wasn't planned. It works well alongside moldavite, amethyst, sugilite, serpentine, sociolite, gem silica, phenakite, seraphinite, and morganite. Tibetan tiktite intensifies the Kundalini energies. Yeah. Wow. Dang. Wasn't expecting that, but. So those are the two new recruits. And as for, let's see, well, let's see here, for the year 2022 for me this year, this incoming year, I pretty much really want to focus on actually really getting my subscriber count up, because since YouTube was so nice enough to take away 160 subscribers now, and they're still doing it. It won't stop, so I gotta rebuild all that up again. And I don't know, I just need to have a lot more focus on one thing at a time. Because yeah, I kind of want to be in this environment anymore. I've been here way too long and I need to get a move on. Yep, and there's also a stone called Sunstone. There's Rainbow Moonstone, there's regular Moonstone, and then, Moonstone comes in a lot of colors. And this, if I can get my finger on it, or one of them. a real vibrant one in here somewhere. Yep, there it is. There. This is what a sunstone looks like. There's another one. Another one. That's a real good one right there. Yep. And of course, sunstone, pacing qualities of the sun. Go figure. But I think primarily, yep. I'm going to really focus on trying to get my subscriber count back up to where it was, because YouTube is I swear I'm going to say it. They're kind of a little discriminatory. Oh, I didn't stutter. Because there was that one time when they took one of the thumbnails that I have for one of my videos down because it had two guys hugging, God forbid. And there was, just out of nowhere, everything just going just fine, then all of a sudden, because why not? Let's have them just lose 160 subscribers within a month. Just cause. Okay. Oh, no, it's cool, YouTube. You can totally do that, tyrants. I didn't say anything. Stop. Ugh. I gotta wait until I get a new keyboard in, which should be this Monday. Then from there, I can actually finish getting my online school thing all set up and running. Because I have so many things on my phone, we're all ready to go. It's just I can't use the keyboard on my laptop because it don't work now all of a sudden. And I do have another computer, but it's just so dim-witted. It was updating, and then all of a sudden, it, for some reason decided to shut down on itself while updating. And now it's stuck in an infinite loop. So I'm trying to figure out how to fix that. But I'd rather just say with it. Really, that's the focus point I have for right now. But other than that, just living day by day and hoping that, something will take off. Yeah, I'm not... Okay. Is that for, like... So, Z, is that for, just a remedy? Well, yeah, it's not really the sticky keys, but it's just, I don't know, it's just like some of the buttons just decided we're not going to work no more for whatever reason. So I'm like, meh with it. So Z, is that made for any kind of remedial reason or just because? Okay, so Shrevzen, okay. Let's see here. Okay, fine. Yep, I heard you loud and I heard you loud and clear. Manifestation. Labradorite, yep, that'll help it. But another one that'll help with it, Black Moonstone. Let's see here. Let's go. A 3 pull, and then we'll go from there. 1. And there's the 2. Right. So for regarding the physical aspect to focus on, Shriv. Again, why do we gotta yell? You gotta focus on primarily just letting loose a little and, speak loud and carry a big stick if you catch my drift. Hi, Michael. So, yeah, so Shriven, don't be afraid to let it loose if you catch my drift. Really? 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 Anyway. Because there might be a lack of initiative being taken on the physical front. Or, maybe you've been not allowing your inner flame. By inner flame, I mean like the zest to go towards something. You haven't put it to its full use. So this is actually the year to focus on just letting the, energy out. Regarding the mental, for a Pentacles, this depiction we have a man sound asleep, and then we have a woman vampiric figure below, like in his arm. Mentally, make sure that somebody is not aware of you sustaining yourself from them. Like, say, for example, if you're learning from somebody indirectly and then they're not aware of it. Like, say, for example, if there's somebody that you're close to and you can't stand them and they can't stand you, but you're seeing them on the sidelines, focus on mainly still getting the sustenance from them, like the experience, the knowledge, and what to do, what not to do, and what all you can gain from them. Gain as much as you can from them, but don't make it known. And still, you can actually have them as a good figure to actually keep leeching intelligence and wisdom from. Just make sure you don't take too much, because they might catch on, like, are you copying me? Are you trying to do what I'm doing? How come you're always scrutinizing me without even saying anything, if you catch my drift? So keep yourself in the shadows in that regard. For the spiritual and emotions, we have the 7 of Cups. I'm going to scooch over because that glare is bugging me. This depiction, we have a figure going, oh no, the light burns. But for this depiction I'm getting, since it looks like it's Surya, the sun coming up, and she's facing it, you'll actually be in a state that you're more going towards enlightened, like an enlightened state on the spiritual front, much more than you've ever been. So on the spiritual and emotional level, you'll actually start feeling more fulfilled, and actually you'll find a lot more purpose in whatever you find in the incoming year. It's just whatever you've been working towards for a long time, it's finally going to pay off. Let me clarify each one. Ace of Twigs with the Queen of Sass. So, you're gonna don't be afraid to get feisty and start really swinging with the stick. Let the way that you like to allow your zest and your inspiration to go. And if somebody doesn't like it, well, there's nothing in the rulebook that says you can't flip them off and say, hey, piss it, get out of the way. Oh, you don't like how I'm swinging my stick? Really? That's not my problem now, is it? Don't be hating that I can handle a stick better than you. Now move, peasant. Don't be afraid to let that side out. Yeah. After Shriv's done. And clarifying the 4 is the 8 of Swords. This depiction we have definitely not Abraham Lincoln going into a cemetery. Yep, you'll be after Z. Songbird. So having this combination, make sure that you only take what you need to take and not get detected and sustain yourself. But as soon as you get what you need and you grow mentally, take it and head out. Don't overstay your welcome and don't overdrain it. Don't learn too much from somebody because it can risk blinding you in the future from learning other alternatives. So only take what works and then leave behind what doesn't work. But once you have a good understanding of whatever subject you're learning from somebody else, once you have a good grasp of it, that's plenty. Don't over nom on that guy's wisdom and intelligence. And then alongside the 7 of Cups, we have, if this deck will be so kind of a show, Page of Twigs. So most definitely, again, I'm going to have to look at that Ace of Twigs in the beginning. Something is going to light an inner flame towards you, and specifically based on how it came out, when K2 transits into Libra, expect something to happen on your spiritual level. And Rahu being in the sign of Aries. Be prepared. That's all I can say. Because something is actually going to help accompany you in getting this enlightened state. So be prepared. So keep your eyes open for like a close friend or companion to actually help alongside you get to that enlightened state or thing that you've been pursuing for a long, long time. Unleash your stick. That's all I gotta say. Okay, who's next? Okay, next is Z. Okay, definitely not. That's a weird thing to call this deck. Alright, definitely not Undead Phlebotomist deck. No. What card do you have to give for Z? Just to break it in a little bit so that way it won't stick to itself. Just flip the deck over. Fine. Nope. Quit. Well, yep, you guessed it. There's my card on the bottom of the deck. And that's what we're going with. So this is going to be the year that you have to focus on getting to your best state. And serving a Snape in the back. Offering his arm to her all like, oh, dearie, here. Use parts of me and take some life from me so that way you can get that bloody Potter out of our castle. Potter. Yeah, so. Anyway, so this is the year that you really have to focus upon yourself. And if you have somebody close to you that's trying to influence you, make sure that if they have your best interest and they're not actually deceiving you. Because she's in white, he's in black. So make sure that there's this understanding that you're putting yourself first. And you're going to be trying to ascend to your best first over everything else. Because this is the year you'll be able to get to that point where you will be at your best possible state. But you have to keep that in mind and focus on it. Don't get sidetracked with like something shining randomly. Okay, who's next? Next is Michael. Messages Divinity has. Let's see. I'm just going to go with the ones... I'm just going to go for three. Three of the ones that are most close to you. In an order of importance. So essentially, one is going to be the one that's the most close to you. Then third is the one that is not as close as the other two. But still close to you, essentially. Number one. Got the World. Second. Two of Cups. Essentially, whatever amount that you would like to put up, I mean, I'm not going to demand or pay for anything. Just anything will be just fine. Any kind of donation will be fine. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say. So far we have the World and the Two of Cups, and then the next one to come out will be this one. Yep. Oh boy. Got two. Oh, this is so. Go figure. We have the World, Two of Cups, and now the Two of Swords. A lot of twos. Well, it is the year of 22. Oh gosh. 21, 22. Boy. So, the one that is the most close to you may actually be a spirit that's associated with Saturn. Don't. Really? Stop. Anyway. So, if there's a deep spiritual connection, I'm going to plug this in because I don't want you guys to be hearing that. So let me just plug this in real quick. Hear me? I hope so, because yeah. So you might have a figure that is related to Saturn, like a Saturnian entity, or even at that, it may be one who's also seen as a maiden figure. Essentially, the closest entity to you is actually ready for you to take on the next step in your growth. You have surpassed the test of this year, and now you're ready to take on the next phase. As one. Now the second one is the Two of Cups. So the one that's in the middle between the two of you, Michael, the one that's in between the first and the third, may actually want to be more spiritually connected to you, because it may not be as much as it used to be, if that makes sense. So there's this longing on their side to get a more deeper connection with you, for the second most close to you. The third one, I'm just going to go with just popped in my head. You actually should consider seeing about this specific entity, if you have one. If not, think about having a more balanced approach, and also consider going towards the Norse goddess Hel, because you have a dark figure and a white figure. But make sure that there's this equilibrium balance between having
like mending and support on one side, and then, the dark on the other. So there's this equilibrium. Make sure you have that balance. I'm going to pull one more. Give me another one because I'm not sure about that. Okay. So make sure when you're investing in these endeavors that just came out, keep your eye on the end result for each one. Just be slow and steady and make sure everything is precise. Because everything will work out as it's intended to. Just watch your P's, Q's, pigeons, and everything. Make sure they don't go off a cliff. And double check and go slow and steady and take your time with it. Focus more on deepening the connection with these three instead of making it be perfect every time. Keep your eye on the coin in the sky, metaphorically. Other than that, looks pretty good to me. So stay focused on one, getting ready for the next big step in your growth, deepening a connection with one entity, and also gaining equilibrium with the entities that you work alongside and within yourself. At least that's what came out for moi. Okay, let's see. Okay, Awakening Lee. Be next, okay. Let's see, correct about the work situation. Let's see, what we get coming out here. Okay, I like that one. Oh, I love how this one's gonna come out. Okay, let's see, we'll add one more. Oh, I love it. So, yes. So, here's what came out. Chris Farley, the devil. Don't be thinking it's bad, because it's not. It's not a bad card. Then to follow up with that is the He Who Font, or Hierophant. And then the last clarifier, so there's three, is the Page of Pentacles. So, let's kick it up from the tippity top. So, overall with the devil, yes, having the devil be the primary energy here is that you're pretty much being the devil's advocate. In other words, you're being really realistic and practical with this. And you're essentially making it known that, look, I'm not new here, I'm not stupid, and I know how this reality works. I know how things are supposed to be done around here, and I don't care if you like it or not. Boo-hoo! It's supposed to be done this way. I'm not new here, I'm not dim-witted. If you think I am, oh, whoops. Don't be thinking like that, because I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom in this field. It's not my first rodeo, hun. And pretty much, I've probably been here longer than you, so why don't you have a seat, child, and actually learn a thing or two from me? And instead of trying to be all micromanaging and nitpicking me, how about you just sit down, stick it, piss it, and zip it. And then just know your place. Because it's not your job to track and scrutinize every little thing I'm doing. You're still a child, little one. Step back and just follow along. follow the ones that have the experience and are not new here, but also have the wisdom, and giving you a harsh lesson in realizing that you're still a young one. Please do not overstep your boundaries, because it can only take one wrong move and whoops, you got bit. So yes, you are correct in this situation. Especially if you gotta be point blank about it. And don't be afraid to be harsh too. Because the Hierophant card is, despite being a guru figure, he's kind of also like a general. Yep, don't be afraid to table flip too, just like, no. If you're gonna keep acting like this, I hear you like having this in between your legs. So yeah. You are correct. Okay, let's see. Enchantress is next. Love interest, is it good? Well, then again, depending on good, if it brings you fulfillment, then of course, it always will. If it's useful to you, then yes, it's good for you. If it's not useful, then it's not. Good. And it needs to keep going and growing. And there's no such thing as an end to, reaching the highest point of confidence. Nope, it's still going to keep going and going and going and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny, except vertical. Those weird things. So, love interest for Enchantress. What comes out? Well, we have one. That's the overall standing between the two. Let's put one for her, and then one for whomever. Well, somebody must enjoy having a lot of, I'll just wait until I pull the next card. I love it. And give me one more clarifier for the Mutal standing, if you would. Okay, here we go. So, let's start with you first. What came out? Well, guess who? Here's the devil again. So, really, as for your standing right now, you really, really, really want to have a connection that's a lot of fun. And you're actually able to let yourself be free. And even do some things that maybe, the common man may not be so inclined to do. Yeah, go in that direction. You get the idea. But still, you want this connection to not only be fun, but also realistic and down to earth, practical, and also secure, and no nonsense. Because if there's nonsense, well, you see the guy that's being hung most back there. Oh, look, there he is. So the other person in question, well, you got them. They are hung most in a position where they're not really moving as much, and they're kind of closed off temporarily. Not in a baneful way, but they're just like they're reserved for at the moment, so they may not be as expressive. But between the two of you, well, I'll just let these two speak for themselves. Two of Cups and then the Four of Pentacles. We have one asleep and then a woman figure licking the arm. And then we have the Two of Cups, the cheesy, woozy, wooey, happy ever after, lovey, lovey, woozy, wooey. So yes, I see this as a connection that's good. It's just that with the other person being he who's hung most, you might need to give him some time in the current moment and be a bit more patient with him. But other than that, I do see it as a good connection. Just make sure he's not hung too long. Vulgar. Okay, then after... Yeah, fine, pull one more. Okay, I'll pull one more, just don't gotta be all... Don't really be overthinking the connection too. You got this. You got this, Enchantress. Don't overthink it. You're good. Just know that the connection is good and provides a lot for you. Just don't be constantly thinking, how come he's still hung? Why is he still hung? I don't get why he's still hung. Maybe is this why? Don't tell me you took Viagra. Please, no. I don't know how I'm going to respond to that. Yeah, don't be thinking and overthinking the situation. Just know that it might take a little bit for him to, wake you if you're knowing where I'm going at. Like coming back down to earth and becoming more aware. So for Kayla's endeavor, what wrongs need to be made right? Or heck, maybe both. Current standing. Let's see. And we're going to be going to pull 2 indicating 2 of the biggest ones that need to be amended or overcome, or you get the idea. Number 1. And then number 12. Of course. And one of those is like a kind of you can try before you... Oh, that sounds so weird. I'm one of those you can try before you buy. No, let's not say that, because that just sounds like I'm a hoochie hooch. But anyway, so Kayla. Actually, clarify those 2 that came out, please, if you would. Okay. Okie doke, so here is what I got. Currently, right now, you're standing at the 8 of Pentacles. This depiction we have a Stetson vampire as servant at the ready. So pretty much where you stand is that you're at the ready. You're all spiffied up metaphorically. So you're all prepared to start the new year and actually go towards it with as much drive and energy and focus as you can. But the 2 areas you have to focus on amending, the first one is the Lovers and the Ace of Cups. There's this strong indication that there has to be this healing and mending within yourself on both the physical, mental level. There has to be a lot more emotional acceptance that you are who you are. It is what it is. And that's what makes you perfect. And everybody else, for that matter. Nobody's perfect, but that's what makes everybody perfect. The best way to heal something that's very uncomfortable about yourself is just to realize it is what it is. Some things you can't change, and it's what makes you you. Because without that thing that you look at and down yourself about, without that you wouldn't be you. It's true though. Having that restoration and bringing into balance and that acceptance of the mind and the emotions to the mundane physical everyday and your health, bringing healing to that and acceptance to that will get rid of this emotional challenge and the imbalance of acceptance of the self. And then the second one, we have the Six of Twigs and then the Queen of Pentacles. So there has to be this realistic practical caretaking to yourself whenever you gain a victory. You have to have the awareness that if you have won something, you are entitled to get the gains from it. And you should pretty much be given that nurturing congratulations for investing in something for so long and so hard. Because if anything, you're the one who put in all the effort and energy, so you should get the good gains from it. And if somebody's like, well, you shouldn't be doing that and you instead should be doing this, but yet you invested in it in a long time and you're getting the rewards from it, if anything, just tell them, oh, don't be hating that, I won because, you were hoping that I was going to lose and I would have to do what you wanted me to do, huh? Well, sorry, I won and I'm handling just fine, so toodaloo, twathead. Sometimes you just got to give them that, harsh, nope. I'm doing what I want to do, and guess what? I'm doing just fine. So, is Scoochie, the Tushy, out of here. And what is something else for her to be aware of, to watch out for? You. And clarify that if you would. And you. Hey, Mara? Is that how you say your name? I tried. So, Kayla, be aware of somebody trying to be sneaky and spying on what you're doing. Make sure to best combat this, Kayla. To best combat this figure that's stalking you or trying to be all sneaky, use your willpower to get them lit. Speak loud and carry a big stick and just, metaphorically hit them upside the head. So that way they'll stop fanboying about you and getting in your business nonstop. But pretty much get that balance and equilibrium and healing any kind of negative self-talk that you have and coming to terms that it is just part of you and it is what it is. But then also, of course, the other, allowing yourself to take in the victories and gain and be more sustained from it. Because if you work hard for something and if you gain the rewards from it, you should be able to enjoy it. If someone doesn't like it, well, don't let them, ankle bite you down and drag you down. Just hit them with a blunt object repeatedly. Not literally, metaphorically. Catch my drift. Okay, let's see. Next, let's see. General for Mara. Let's see. Okay, what comes out for her? Let's see. Current standing. We have King of Pentacles. Currently, you might be in a position where you might be very timid and very in a state of restlessness because something that was like a heritage or hand-me-down or something really close to you or even something that was like a family heirloom, like a piece of furniture, like even a pendant or piece of jewelry or just something that belonged to someone that was in your family much older. The standing of it is in not the best standing, and you're in a position where you might be afraid to lose it. But also at the same time, you're intimidated by something. Something is making you be very uneasy about how you're going to be going about this endeavor. There's just something that is making you just be in a state of terror. And you're might be getting into a state of not being able to think clearly, being in a state of constant fear, or there could be something that's going on around you that's like people yelling, people screaming, loud noises nonstop, and it's just making you feel terrified, scared. Give me 4 more around the state. Number 1. There could be somebody around you that is really cold and detached and really doesn't care about feelings. Like there could be a figure that may be also narcissistic, maybe. Not really giving a care about how you feel. And having these high expectations of you to be met, no matter how crazy it is. If you make it, you don't even get rewarded for it. But if you don't make it, you get put in a position where you're not comfortable. And it takes a toll on you. Then we have the 5 of Cups to follow. So there's also an entity or a spiritual force on the other side that is close to you and is watching out for you the best that it can do. But you're not really fully, completely aware of this entity so far. You know there's something there, but you know that it's not with malefic intent. It's kind of like a guardian spirit that you didn't know you had, if that makes sense. Then for the third, 7 of Wands. This depiction, we have a vampire figure and another vampire that's a woman kind of looking up at the male figure. And she's a bit, well, it can be either or. It's just that the entity that is close to you is actually having your best interest in mind, always. Priority number 1. It's not malefic from what I'm getting. But for the third card to come out, the same figure that's this Queen of Swords may actually be the biggest cause of intimidating you and putting you in that state. They actually may expect you to live up by their standards and not really care if they, leave you in that, again, that timid state. You always had to feel like you're having to walk on eggshells. You got to put your walls up. You got to protect yourself. And you may not even know, like out of nowhere, they might come in swinging. They might come in verbally yelling stuff. They might come in perfectly fine. Might come in depressed. They're just like, you have no idea what they're going to be coming towards you as. And they expect you to have a bit of a state of obedience and energy of obedience around them. And when you're not like that, they kind of, lose their cool and they hissy fit, to best explain it. Then to finish it all up, the last one to come out will be you. Ace of Pentacles. So, the primary focus that you should have to get out of this endeavor, go on and study and try and figure out who this entity is that's watching out for you, and trying to figure out as much information as you can about them and trying to have them help you get into a new physical state of being where you're not being threatened and where you're not being in a state of fear and that you're more secure. Figure out who this entity is that's right behind you and backing you up and trying to get a deeper connection so they can guide you out of it. Well, on the bright side, if you go towards it, if you get that connection, you'll have death come through. Not like death is then like you're going to kick the bucket. No. But that situation is going to go from the state that it's currently in well, the thing is, if a spirit is trying to help you get out of a situation, it may stay with you just because it wants to make sure that you're okay, or it may just, that's all it wanted to do. Just help you get out of there so you can be free of it. But when you are able to break away from it and get out of that situation, when you do, death will take place, but not like you're not going to kick the bucket. Let's be a little bit realistic here. No buckets are going to get kicked. But once you get out of there, you're going to go from that state of that King of Pentacles being in fear. Of course, because why not? Essentially, you're going to go from that state of fear to being the best possible state you can be. Queen of Cups, my card. Essentially, the state that you're in, once you get that connection going and you're able to get yourself out, the state that you're currently in, it'll transform into being the most restorative and nurturing part to your soul and your whole being that you'll be at the best point of your life has ever been. You'll feel like that you're actually living life how you're supposed to be, at its purest, with no blemishes and nothing causing harm to it. And that same figure will still back you up. So yeah, expect that figure that's trying to help you on the spiritual side to still be with you. Because they're not going to go anywhere. Because I have at least what I'm getting from this, also, just really focus on getting out and prioritize getting your safety and well-being first over everything else. Because once you're out, you'll actually see a new perspective to life that you probably have never even experienced before. And it's going to be very liberating. At least that's what I get. No, you won't die. No. No. The state of being that you're in, well, out of the situation that you're in that's not making you be in a state of peace and serenity. Because once you're out of that toxic environment, naturally the mind will heal itself and the emotions will heal themselves. You should do what you have to do, but you have to make that decision for yourself. If you're in a situation where your safety and well-being is put into jeopardy, then you do what you have to do to get yourself into a safer place. No matter what you have to do, do it. But again, I don't know exactly how your living situation is. And think 20 steps ahead. Do you have an income source? Do you have means of supporting yourself? Then if that's the case, do what you have to do to get yourself out of the situation. Look online to find support systems to help you with that, because that's not anywhere I can go into. Hold on, I'm gonna call. Give me just a second. I'm still here.